Alright, welcome back as we continue here on Three of Swords Gaming. We are moving through Season 4, currently in Chapter 5, right? What's Chapter 5 called? I've already forgotten. All or Nothing. All or Nothing. Probably intended to communicate that we got a big fight with Kralk coming, right? Which is, in fact, where we were left off after the last episode. At the end of the last episode, we were given the impression that we are ready to fight Kralk because we have successfully completed some Dragon's Blood spears. Wouldn't that be something if it were that easy? Like, oh, it turns out all we have to do to defeat Kralk is make these spears. Oh, okay, well, who knew? Who knew? Now, also of note, as we enter this instance here, ghosts have been appearing in what
I
was
saw another ghost, starting to look like Ascalon
in the
around
keep
here.
over here.
If they're all coming here, there's got to be something seriously wrong on the other side.
Yes, so that is the idea, is that the ghosts are coming here because things are bad in the mist.
Dire news from Glint. Our forces are scattered. We can't hold out any longer. Kralk has entered the domain of the lost. He's devouring everything in his path, destroying or scattering the dead.
Explains all the ghosts. How bad is it gonna get?
He's wounded. We've done real damage. But now he's feeding again, regaining power. If this keeps up.
So it's pretty bad. Got it. Thanks for everything you've done. The rest is up to us.
Alright, so this ghostly messenger should appear familiar to us, but only if we know what to look for. Let's see if we can get a good look here before, because I think she's going to vanish here in a second. Oh, there she went. So that is meant to be, unless I'm terribly mistaken, and I'm reasonably confident I'm not, definitely has the appearance of Gwen, the little girl in the original Guild Wars, pre-searing Ascalon, runs around with her flute. In fact, I think there's a mission where you actually help her find her flute. And ultimately ended up being an ancestor of Logan Thackeray. In fact, her name was Gwen Thackeray, if I'm not mistaken.
Weak compared to the original. Precision is paramount, but we will have more.
Based on Timey and Gorik's numbers, we'll need a week, maybe two, to cast enough weapons for everyone.
Gives us time to figure out how and where to stage the fight.
Turns out that's time we don't have. Kralk beat back Glint's army. Now he's gorging on the domain of the lost.
Oh no. That explains the surge we're seeing in our readings.
So, what do we... It's a rift. Here? Underground?
He's getting stronger by the minute. All bets are off.
All the bets are off. Every one of them, Timey. All of the bets. No longer on. They are off. Alright, let's grab us some spears here because, they're quite overpowered. And that'll just make this whole process a lot easier for us, right?
I feel good.
No, I did not want to pick up the shard. Restock on spears.
Feel the fury.
So this would be a change, right? If Kralk can now extend his reach underground, that would represent a change from what we had previously seen out of Kralk, where taking refuge underground would have protected us from it, right? That was the whole idea behind Sun's Refuge, is that it could not be reached by Kralk branding and other shenanigans.
We have to draw it out the storm. Fall back to the high ground.
So probably the best thing about these spears, yes, they do damage, but really it's the break bar damage they do that is pretty significant. Why did you? Oh, because I'm still targeting the wrist stock.
Aurine can charge up crystals with magic?
Aurine's full of surprises. Brace yourselves. I'm going to release it. Feel the fury.
Alright. Interesting how they set up the special action skill to, like, switch. Did that actually get interrupted? I think it did. Yeah, it did. Man, brutal. There we go. Oh, what did we get?
That did the trick.
Oh.
But the brandstorm is still there and still spreading.
Aurene, branded over it.
Oh no, I was worried about this.
About what?
That as she becomes more powerful, Ori may exhibit behaviors more typical of her species.
You mean our dragon might start acting like a dragon?
Stop it, you're upsetting her. She was trying to protect us. She does something new and suddenly you don't trust her?
She just branded the ground we're standing on. We're lucky she didn't kill anyone.
And in case it slipped anyone's mind, she's Kralkatorik's granddaughter.
Will you all be quiet? She's trying to tell us something. It's all right. Speak through me. I am not him.
Wow.
Oh, good. Another dragon that can corrupt Sylvari.
Keith, are you... you?
Oh, I'm me. We were right. She does need both of us. Now I know what my role is. And it's... humbling.
I thought dragon minions couldn't be corrupted by other dragons. Is it 'cause her egg absorbed Mordremoth's magic? How?
Taimi, it's all right. She asked, and I accepted. This isn't corruption. It's connection. Now, if we could get back to our actual dragon problem.
Yeah, but if he's getting stronger by the minute, so much for forging weapons for a week. We need to hit him now. But how and where?
Why not here? That resonance crystal absolutely annihilated his minions. If we can lure him here and pin him down somehow, we can use the crystals against him too.
We also have the new spears. Haul some ballistae in here and we'd have dragon's blood artillery. But how do we draw him in?
If Aurene gets his attention, he won't be able to resist. She's a threat. He wants her dead.
That's the lure, but we still have to pin him down. And a handful of minions is not the same as an elder dragon.
In theory, the intensity of those crystals could be focused and amplified.
Yes! That's how dredge weapons work! I bet we can use their sonic amplifying tech to do the same thing! Commander, if you can get the dredge to tell you how to boost the power, I know Gorik and I can make it work.
Okay, get your people ready. We've got a trap to set.
How have the Asuran never stolen the dredge technology before now? It's a mystery. It is a mystery. Okay, so this is an interesting thing, and I like how right up front ArenaNet like clarifies what happens here, because otherwise it would have been like all kinds of weird for the community. I'm sure they would have bickered about it and made an issue about it, and I'm sure they still did. I don't recall particularly. By the time this rolled around, I'd pretty much checked out of like being active in the subreddit and the forums and so forth. It's been a long time since I really was heavily invested in those. It was a relatively short period of time that I was like on there daily. These days, it's more like once every 30, 60 days, maybe. So that did appear to be like dragon corruption, right? Or like branding. Like Kaith is now branded. And certainly, we see like these like crystalline flowers grow, and she's got like crystalline things coming off her. Her appearance completely changed, her skin and everything. Like this is not the same Kaith as before Areen did this. Essentially, it is dragon corruption. Essentially, it is branding, except that the distinction that Kaith makes and makes it easier for us to understand what took place is that she she was offered in some metaphysical fashion that we don't see explicitly clear. This is something that was offered by Irene, and Kaith accepted it. So in that sense, they do kind of make a path for this that doesn't like overly complicate previous lore about what can and cannot be corrupted and how it works and so on and so forth. I don't know that those rules are like hard and fast anyway. I think there is some ambiguity around that kind of thing. But I'm not gonna over speculate on that because I'm not as familiar with it as maybe I am with some other things. Kaith, what are your thoughts on this whole thing now that you're a different Kaith?
What's it like, Kaith? What's she like?
Like sunlight. Does that make sense? I can feel her love for you. Her trust. It's so intense, it's almost painful. You're where she draws her strength from. Her duty weighs on her. But there's hope, too. An ocean of it. For everything and everyone. It's overwhelming. Glint was right. Aurene needs us. And the world needs her.
Let's do right by both of them.
So I assume that they do this with Kaith, by the way, because they can't do it with a player character, right? As much as they kind of take liberties with the player character and force things on us that maybe we don't have interest in, I've talked about how stupid destroying the original Dragon's Blood Spear was and stuff like that. They can't alter the player character appearance because that would be like a real problem for a lot of players. A lot of us maybe care a lot about our appearance. This is pretty much just one set of armor. It's not like I was particularly tricky in putting this together, but a lot of folks do put a lot of effort into their fashion wars, so they couldn't change our appearance. And I think probably it was for the best that they chose, beyond the appearance piece, that they chose for Irene to make this connection with someone else. Kaith was the logical choice. Whether or not this bond between Irene and Kaith that has existed for a long time, ever since we asked Kaith to like stay with the egg, way back in season 3. Whether or not that was always planned, or if Kaith was a convenient target for this, I have no idea. I wouldn't even speculate. Well, I would speculate, but I'm not going to. Okay. Kralk. You seem to not be keen on this. And understandably, by the way, Kralk and Rytlok's reaction to, like, Irene branding things is not an inappropriate reaction by any stretch of imagination.
We faced long odds before. I should know. I've won a small fortune betting on them.
Ha,
But
jokes.
just to be clear, you do know this plan is insane.
Let's say bold.
I'll admit you do have a way of pulling off the unlikely, but still insane.
So, I'm going to disagree with Kralk a little bit. This plan that they kind of present as being put together in a haphazard fashion is actually much better than the idea of trying to combat Kralk over open terrain. It's actually, tactically speaking, like a really, really sound idea. Kralk size actually works to its disadvantage if we can lure it into a very tight space, and for Kralk this would be a tight space, right? So I strongly disagree with Kralk on this, but hey man, whatever.
Logan, this isn't how we thought things would go. Any concerns about your people?
We didn't expect to confront Kralk this soon, but we'll be ready. I'll talk to the General about moving those ballistae inside.
Alright, thanks. Thanks for your contributions,
What's
Logan.
that look, Rytlok?
You know, Commander. Back then we had the original spear, not a bunch of knockoffs. I know we had to destroy it, but sure would come in handy about now.
Don't remind me.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
This time we've got you and Doreen. I'd trust you over some stupid spear any day.
So once again, ArenaNet's going to go ahead and punish us for the decision that they made, and not like, oh, they took the story in a particular direction, but they forced the player character to make a stupid decision. Like, I think a vast majority of players at that point in time could recognize that it was a stupid decision. So now having everybody, this is like the third or fourth NPC to throw it back in our face. Why do that? Why punish the players for your bad story writing? I mean, they're already punished by playing through it once.
Gonna be up close and personal with an elder dragon. Maybe we live, maybe not. But I can't stop thinking about Timey.
I know. She's hurting. But she's strong. She wants you focused on this fight. Besides, Gorik's really stepped up for her. She's annoyed, but underneath, I think she's grateful.
Sometimes Bug Boy's hard to take. But other times, I could hug him.
All right, so we have a little bit of dialogue here that probably, under most circumstances, would get lost, right? Generally speaking, when I'm playing through the story, I skip all this optional dialogue. So all the lore conversations here, like no time for them at all. Only doing them now because this is a story playthrough, so we want to catch all this stuff, right? But here we actually have some dialogue from Bram that is useful for communicating a thing. Where is Gork? Over here. That does take place fairly gradually. And in that sense, a little more nuanced than what ArenaNet's usually capable of, because usually they are about as nuanced as like a Nerf sledgehammer. And that is the gradual transition of Gorik, and of course Blish's loss being a turning point in that. But the gradual transition of Gorik from being some sort of weird, aloof inquest scientist to being someone who is likable and endearing and a genuine friend to all these other folks, and really a better character, honestly, than most of them. Just as Blish was. Blish and Gorik here being brothers and being introduced at the same time also have the distinction of being two of the better characters. What are we looking at, Blish? What's going on here?
Gorik.
Or Gorik, I mean.
I just want you to know how much I appreciate you looking out for Timey.
She's who I have left. And she's an excellent scientist. I've come to value her.
Good. Good.
So tell me about this idea for the resonance crystals.
Same idea as forging dragon's blood weapons, only instead of a few brand shards, we're breaking down a whole dragon. We just need to figure out how to boost the resonance output, which is where the dredge come in. Charge them up, make them sing, and they'll hit Kralk right in the resonance frequencies.
Okay, again, I actually think this is a better idea than the original plan of get Kralk out in the open and throw a bunch of spears at him. Like this literally attacks like his like molecular integrity, and does so without a whole bunch of idiots running up and throwing spears. So I like, it's good that that's where the story is leading us. Kudos to ArenaNet for that. It's just kind of weird that it's, like we got people like Canuck poo-pooing it, and this is presented as like a plan B. This is the best possible plan A, honestly. All right, hey, Forge Master Helena, we're Frago. We're gonna have some changes here.
New plan. We're luring Kralk here. We're gonna pin him down and hit him with everything we've got.
Here? But that could destroy the forge. Glint herself cast weapons in these halls.
I know, but Timey thinks Dredge Tech can amplify your crystals to really hurt him, even give us a shot at killing him. And if we succeed, it'll be because of the work done here. If we don't...
You make a fair point. I shall speak to your friend about her idea.
Thanks for getting on board, Helena. Okay, we need to talk to the dredge, so let's go talk to the dredge. I like this part, by the way. I don't necessarily like this part of the map, but that's like an aesthetic thing and a gameplay thing, where this part of the map just kind of doesn't feel fun for me, and looks ugly. But that, again, like that's very personal stuff. I do like what we're about to do. It's kind of fun.
We're gonna lure Kralk into the forge and kill him.
Into the forge? Commander, I said I'd help you and I meant it. But I can't ask my people to be a part of something like that.
I understand. You've suffered enough. But any idea how we could focus sonic resonance against, say, an elder dragon?
I think the reflector dishes on our tanks work like that, but I've got no one who can tell you how. We lost our engineers to the Branded. Our tanks, too. They're scattered across the ice flow.
Commander, if you give me some samples, I can reverse engineer them. Assuming a little damage, 3 should do it.
Better take some oil with you. It's highly flammable. Could be useful in dismantling the tanks.
Thanks, Varia. Get your people to shelter when the dragon comes. Keep them safe.
Alright. I'm going to resist the urge to make jokes about Russians and highly flammable tanks. I probably take enough political pot shots as is. This portion is cool. This is a cool thing. Now, we don't actually have to carry this oil around. It's actually kind of unnecessary. Let's see, where's the nearest one? Yeah, right here. There will be oil right here next to the tanks as well. See? Oil barrel. And then tank. So somewhere near each of the tanks will be some sort of something, you know, pipe like this, where flame comes out of. See that flame coming out of here? Big pipe, tank. So we just need to make a trail of, you know, like in an old-timey movie where, like they make like a trail of gunpowder. That's basically what we're doing. It will light us on fire if we're standing right there when it happens. So we will try to let me on fire anyway. Not really a threat to like your survival, but just something to know.
Great. Everyone's setting up, and Orion's helping turn out dragon's blood weapons faster than I would have thought possible.
Fantastic. So, listen. I need you to be my eye in the sky. So you're gonna set up nice and high above the fight, okay?
Alpha, not you too. Do not try to keep me out of this fight. I'm not helpless.
I know. That's not what I'm saying. I need someone to give me a bird's eye view on Kralk once he gets here. It's vital.
If you say so.
Oh, poor Timmy. Feels like she's getting left out. So of the 3 tanks that we do, this one is the hardest. We got to get it all the way around this fence here. I don't believe that we can do it through the fence. I may be mistaken on that, though. I don't know. We'll see how things go here. But it is a little bit of a trick. We got to kind of spread them out a bit. The fire will jump if they're relatively close. So now the problem is I'm not sure that fire is going to pop soon enough before the oil on this end disappears. Let's see here. Hey, it worked. We got it first try. I'm actually immensely pleased. That sometimes takes me like 5 or 6 tries.
Commander, I have a suggestion for, how did you put it, pinning down the dragon.
I'm all ears.
This facility backs up on a mountain range, yes? What if I were to set charges to bring those mountains down on Kralk?
That's inspired. Put a team together. Saida can take you up.
Perfect. You'll be hearing from me.
What? Ah, shenanigans. Alright, let's put our oil down. Take care of this guy real quick.
Time to do some real damage.
Oh, alright, well. Took a bunch of fire to the face, but it worked.
Go ahead, Saida.
Your prickly friend passed on your request. And you know me. I never miss a chance to blow up a mountain. Kralk is rounding up volunteers. But we have a problem here at the dock. Kralkatorik's brandstorm took down the other airship. The one carrying Kralk's detonators.
That's inconvenient. I'll drop off these reflector dishes and be right there.
Monica asked me to scout out the flow.
Alright, so we got our dishes. And now we have a new task, right? So like basically every chapter of Living World ever, the story is going to be interspersed with like running errands, right? Nothing new. And honestly, I get it. I totally get it. it's a mechanism for like prolonging, just like I've talked in the past about like the green bars and do 30 events across the map to fill up the green bar. Kind of the same sort of thing. It's filler for the story to make the chapter last longer so they can push to the next chapter. I understand. But here we are doing chores, right? Elderona, here, take some satellite dish things. Thank you. Sure appreciate it. Okay, so I think we're gonna waypoint because we need to be somewhere else other than where we are. They're about equidistant. But you know what? It's easier to go downhill than uphill. Let's go ahead and waypoint, and then we'll run downhill. And head over. Shut up. So, what do we got going on now? Now that we've covered the satellite dishes, we need these explosives. All right. Canucks explosives. Again, good idea. I like the story from like a, or how we're going about the Kralk thing. Like I like it from a like tactics point of view. Like that's good. Pull the enemy into tight quarters, pin them down, and hit them with something that we believe they will genuinely be susceptible to. That's all like really good ideas. We just got to do errands to get there, right? All right, buddy. What's the deal with these explosives? Oh, Saida, what's the deal with these explosives?
Still on board. My Corsairs are skittish about all the branded. Can't say I blame them.
I'll take care of it.
Yeah, so definitely I think some of the things that I don't like are probably just the human female voice actor. Because sometimes she just sounds real poopy. Whoops. Did I miss my... Oh, no, I got it. We need to be inside of there. Oh man, branded griffins are the worst. They really are.
They'll have to hit much harder.
Looks like they're doing the meta event right now. It's always tempting when I'm on this doing the story playthrough and I see him doing the meta event. It's always tempting to go ahead and jump into it because in a way the meta events are sort of like pseudo part of the story, right? There are things that like the pact are engaged in while we're in the process of doing the other things in the story, and so there is that. However, there's only a few times when the meta event is like integral to the story, and that would be Dragonstand, which we already did. The next chapter, Dragonfall, is going to have that as well. So next chapter we will do the meta event as part of our story playthrough because you kind of have to really fully complete like the story conceptually speaking. To make sense of everything in the story, you got to go through the meta event as well, and then much later when we get to the end of End of Dragons, we'll do that again. Saida, I got explosives.
Knows you won. Hope his crazy idea works.
It will. Don't worry about us. Just get his team in place, then stay clear.
And miss broadsiding an Elder Dragon? Huh. We're stuffing our cannons with brand crystals. The fleet's gonna hit him with a full barrage on his way in. We'll soften him up, Commander. You just be ready for the big son of a skrit.
I'll head back now.
Son of a skrit? Is that a thing in Tyria? Is that a thing we say? Apparently it's a thing we say. I like it when the Corsairs and the Pact are fighting. So this is part of the heart here. Silly rabbits.
Time to do some real damage. They'll have to hit much harder.
We'll cool off.
Yes, please do. See? Oh, actually, although while I was getting the explosives, the enemies I killed also contributed to that. All right, we don't need the heart for the story though. And in fact, that's one of the hearts I don't like as much. I like when the Corsairs and the Pact are fighting, but in general, it's not one of the hearts I particularly enjoy on the map because it scales. Like Living World Season hearts scale brutally. It feels like it takes a half hour to finish them sometimes. However, one of them on this map, that being this one, is super fast. So, yeah. Like I mentioned last episode, if you need one heart on this map, that's the one to go for. All right, Helena, we got like satellite radar dishes, which is apparently a thing in Tyria. Acoustic, they're actually acoustic resonators of some kind. And we got explosives.
Your sir and friends examine the dishes you collected from the dredge.
Good, good.
I shall modify the crystals to their specifications. It's a fascinating concept and a daring plan.
Let's see if it works.
All right. Are we ready? Are we ready to fight Kralk? I like this instance, relatively speaking. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun one. It is long-ish, however. Why can't I move? It always happens at the beginning of this instance. Super weird.
Kralk, your team have those explosives set and ready to go?
Just the finishing touches now.
Love the positivity, but wrap it up, please.
So as you'll recall, that was a thing in Istan as well, right? Like Kralk. Actually, he did that in Istan and in... Oh, we can't look at the map. Can we? Here we go. And I always get the maps down here. Jahai, Istan, Vabi, Korna. I get them all confused. He did it in both Korna, Istan, and now he does it here. So this whole like whistling while he plants explosives thing, they're like really digging deep trying to make that part of Kralk's character or whatever. I like... So like I said, I like the instance in general. There are a lot of things that I like about it. One of them is this whole like feeling that they create of final preparations, and it genuinely feels like everybody's working hard, getting ready to do a thing. Here we go. Like, you know, I remember on my very first deployment getting to Bagram. This is way back. This is early in Afghanistan. Getting to Bagram, and then we were like living in a big circus tent on the far side of the flight line over by where all the old MiGs and stuff were kind of laying in a debris field. And there was a feeling that everyone's sitting around and like checking their gear. We had just gotten country. We're ready to go out to wherever we're going to be. And so guys, you know, cleaning their weapons and, you know, checking their night vision and all this stuff. Like, that's kind of how this feels, right? It very much gives me that feeling. Mia, where do we remember Mia from? So she's a named character versus Ash Legion Spy and Iron Legion Soldier. And we've seen her a few times. In fact, she's from the Char story. I think she might be from the Char story. We get some Omicron floating. Well, that's impressive. We got some Omicron floating around. We got some of the like Free Awakened and stuff with us here. Oh, look. It's General Almora's Soulkeeper. It's time, Commander. After all this time, after all these years, my warband will finally be avenged. Yeah, so this is a big deal for General Soulkeeper, right? We remember from the lore going way back to, preceding by a number of years, Guild Wars 2, she has sought to destroy Kralk because her warband was branded, and she was forced to kill her entire warband herself when they turned against her after being branded. So she's got... I mean, imagine that. Not only are your friends like killed by some adversary, but the process of killing them actually turns them against you, so that the person who actually has to take their life is you, right? So we get it. Almora's got beef for good reason, and this is her time. Like, that's cool, right? We can get excited about that. We'll grab some spears since they're here.
Ah, Commander, welcome. Captain Thackeray and the others are waiting.
Do I know you?
Just beyond the mess hall.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I don't know who you are, though. So here's one of those weapons, and I think we'll see a few of them around. In fact, I think Logan wields some, if I remember correctly. Oh, thank you for moving. Now we can see it really well. So this is the Dragon's Blood Greatsword. I really like the weapon skins. I mentioned them last episode. I like the weapon skins from this map. I think they are good skins. I got people praying. Like, all this is like good. I like it a lot. All right, I'm not gonna drone on about it anymore.
Something special to feed the troops. Want a taste?
I do want to taste. Okay, but it is worth noting. Optional. Eat a nourishing meal. In fact, let's see. Achievements. I think this achievement, actually, what is the stubborn achievement? Let's check. Before we eat this food, let's check something. Because I think, actually, I don't want to eat the food. Story journal. Where are we at? We're in all or nothing. And we're looking for the stubborn achievement. Ooh, I got a lot of achievements still to do on this map, don't I? Of course, we haven't been chasing. Wait, where is it? What? Achievement eligibility. Stubborn. And electrophobia. Okay, there's electrophobia. That one's kind of hard to do. But where's stubborn? So I believe stubborn is don't take any of the buffs. But I would like to find it and actually see it. Do I already have it? I do already have it. Without accepting aid from the weaponsmith, armorsmith, or chef. So we're going to go ahead and accept their aid. Because we already have that achievement. I don't know why it's showing up as eligible again. So there are different folks here, Melitus being one of them, who are going to offer us stuff. He just offered us to try the food for the troops. It's been a wild day, Commander. Hope you're ready. I am ready, and I'm ready to try some of this food. It looks like we got, is this like fish soup? What do we got here? That's what happens when I make homemade pizza. My kid likes it, and I like it, so that's fine, but like it ends up looking kind of like that, right? Because when you actually make pizza at home, the cheese kind of tends to, to look a little bit like that. So I'm going to assume this is fish soup and cheese pizza. That's what I want. Oh, he's actually going to tell us. Chicken and rice with fresh carrots and broccoli. Is that what this is? Plus a bit of dwarven spice and something the Sun Spears call fire sauce. So what's over here? Is this fire sauce? All right. So now we got the food. So see, it actually gives us unsuccessful kills gain barrier. Oh, and scales with toughness. So we actually get a buff from doing that. And then as we move through here, we still need to find the armor and what was the other one? Someone else? There's 2 more buffs we can get.
Let's hope not.
Hi, everybody. Where's the armor, though? Seriously. All right, well, moving on.
Okay. Between the fleet's cannons and Kralk dropping a mountain on him, Kralk should already be hurting when he shows. Aurene will keep him busy while I trigger the resonance crystals starting here. That should stun him and buy me time to get to the second crystal, where we hit him again. Bram's team holds the third until I can get there and we trigger the final blast. Okay, I think we're actually ready.
I have a little bit of a bone to pick with the commander. I understand that looks cool, but doesn't that make more sense?
We don't have that luxury. But the truth is, we don't need it. Kralk seems invincible, but he himself had a vision, a prophecy, of a world without him. We have everything we need. He's hurting, half out of his mind. We're going to lure him right where we want him. And then we're going to make his vision a reality. Glint believed in us. I believe in you. Together, we're going to save the world and kill the Crystal Dragon. To your posts.
Rah, rah, rah. Oh, listen to that. Cheering noises. We got so many people that we recognize here. There goes the Worm Marshal. And
Resonance crystals with the dredge technology. They are ready.
None of this would be possible without your work. We won't forget it.
It has been my honor. Kaith and Aurene await you in the auditorium.
Here we go. Blacksmith and Armorsmith. So here are our other 2 buffs. Janes, what do you got for me? Can you reinforce my armor? Found a technique that reinforces your armor against Kralk's magic, but only temporarily. Let's do it. How long do these last, by the way? Oh, it doesn't say. So it presumably is for the duration of the instance. Solvi. Solvi, what do you got for me? Working on a runestone that will infuse your weapons with some powerful magic, but only for a short time. Alright, boom. So now we got all the possible buffs to assist us against Kralk. Let's go.
is dying before dawn. I can't do this.
Adolia could follow you tomorrow, but that wouldn't help your family. Dying in battle might. You could live to be an old man, but if the cost was your little sister's lives, would you pay it?
No. You're right. I can do this.
Hey, mental note. When Kralk comes, make sure this guy is not right next to me. I have serious concerns about his level of commitment. That's no way to prepare for a battle. Sitting around being all poopy. Gotta amp yourself up. That's how you do it. Right, Irene?
She's afraid, but she's ready to enter the mists and draw Kralk here. I know, but you trust us, don't you?
A lot's hanging on this. It's a heavy weight to carry. But you and I are carrying it together. Scion and Champion, right?
Poor Irene. When does she get to do what she wants?
Okay, Aurene, it's time.
Lots of cool stuff going on here. It's fun to watch. Boop. Right into a portal in the mist.
This feels familiar.
We got a massive storm out here. Just blew in out of nowhere.
Saida, do you read?
Commander! Oh my gosh. He's here! He's here now!
All ships, fire! Fire! Commander, brace yourself. He's...
Alright, see Irene, and then Kralk. Yeah, it's pretty nifty, huh?
He's always been this
alchemy. He's huge.
Blow the charges, now!
With pleasure.
Okay, just...
He's focused on Aurene, Commander. Time for you to do your thing!
Working on it, Timmy. Thank you. That's cool. That's a cool effect.
There! On his neck! Focus your assault on that wound!
That actually worked.
It sure did. According to this data, he's weakening. Disoriented. Wow, he's really hurting.
Good. Keep it coming.
Alright, good job, everyone. Look at that. We got, like, Kralk blood.
She says hit him again, harder.
Okay, I'm heading for the second crystal.
Commander, come here. Aurene says she can use the ley lines to help you get across.
This is also pretty cool, and it gives us an opportunity to kind of really, like, soak up Kralk, how big he is, how...
He's trying to push in further.
Whoa! Aurene just branded Kralk to the wall! Better get to that second crystal, quick!
Working on it. Thank you, Tammy.
Quickly.
I don't see the Wyvern. Oh. Ran right into the Wyvern.
They're draining the crystals.
We've got to kill them closer to the crystals. That'll recharge them.
Alright, so what they're referencing are these right here, right? You see little gears on our map? We need a... Hey, whoop! That was disorienting. Unfortunate, actually. Okay, I should have focused more on this sapper because until the sapper's dead, like, these guys don't count towards this crystal. So this, just as in the instance in the previous episode where we were practicing all this stuff with Irene, we have the same problem here, which is getting the enemies inside the circle so that we can charge the crystal. See how they're all way over here? Now maybe if I could like get rid of my pet, bring my pet over here with me, maybe we're more likely to pull him in here. Nope. Wait a minute. There we go. So this cultist decided to actually like join us here. Now another option would be to, oh come on Griffin, come in here. Another option would be to say, okay, you know, this is what it is, and head to another one and then come back over here. Allow the enemies to build up over here while we go, especially if they're actually going to run away from the circle like that guy did, then that's fine. Now what's unfortunate about this and really frustrating about like the enemy in the circle thing is that there is an achievement for like doing the entire instance in a certain amount of time. See that? We're at 10 minutes 57 seconds. And when the enemies do this to you, then it makes, you know, that achievement exceptionally difficult. Not that I was expecting to get it anyway, but just the same. Like it's a source of frustration.
Not enough energy.
Is the sapper already gone from here? Looks like he is. Alright, let's come back over here, see if there's anything in the circle. One. No, Griffin's not even in the circle. These are the same enemies as before, and none of them are any closer to being in the circle. It does look like that Griffin counted it. There we go. We got improvement up here. So this little detail has always been an immense frustration for me in this instance as well. This isn't something that I'm complaining about just because we're doing a playthrough right now. Like, always been something that has made me kind of like feel real angsty about this instance. It is worth noting, sometimes these circles are on multiple floors. See how it extends up onto that stairwell? So you can kind of keep an eye on the stairwell as also, in the possibility that, you know, you have enemies up here that are in the circle and you can take advantage of that. Literally just waiting in an empty circle. Just waiting. Real silly. And if we were worrying about that achievement, we'd be real frustrated right now, right? 9 minutes and counting. Oh, am I out of spears? What a bummer.
Time to do some real damage.
I should have gone up and got some more.
There! Crystal's charged again.
Go team.
Okay, everyone! Hit him hard just like before! Feel the fury! Feel the fury! On my way to the last crystal. Keep the branded off this one. Take all the time you need.
So we can see the bars over here. See Kralk head, and then we got like the bars facing the forge. That's what that is right there. Remember, that's where we talked to Reen, or maybe it was over here, but like one of these is where like the forge is. Presumably, oh, well, probably this one right here.
Blocked. Gotta find another way around.
It is possible to do this part too fast and kind of cause it to glitch. You don't necessarily want that to happen.
block 2. We're running out of alternative routes.
Thank you, Cave.
Said take your time. She didn't mean take your time.
Look at the data. It's really working. Kralk is finally going to die.
Keep going, Commander! That last crystal should really clobber it!
Super excited, Timey. Oh, it's our friends the Dredge.
Comrades from hurting anyone else.
Aria, thought you were fresh out of tanks.
What can I say? You inspired us to liberate one. If you fail, we all die. And the spirit of revolution dies with us. Go!
Crazy Soviet mole rats. Should have made them orcs. Of course. I love it when stuff like that happens. Did it start us all the way back here? Like, do we have to go through the whole run again? I think we do. Alright, well, any possibility of getting that, that achievement for time is now long gone, because now I'm lost. As we tried to climb the... In fact, I think we're going the wrong way. We're actually leaving the instance, aren't we? Oh my gosh. Ridiculous. Yeah, trying to climb the pile of rocks and then it just kills us, right? That has happened to me before. In fact, I think the exact same thing happened to me on the 0-0 playthrough. It is discouraging, right? Like it doesn't feel good to have something like that happen. I do wish that... it's probably going to insta-kill us if I try and do this too. Yep. Quite silly. All of it quite silly. Alright, so how do I get from here? I guess we'll go that way, because I don't have a better solution. What's going on here? I don't even... Imagine being a new player and having this happen. Like, wouldn't that be frustrating? Am I not supposed to go through this? What options am I given? Oh, can I not go through it? Nope. Now I'm genuinely confused. What have I missed here? Or is the instance just broken? That actually would not surprise me in the slightest. There's a green thing here, but no indication that we have any options there. And this takes us back where we were. Super confusing. And Irene's little thing to launch us isn't here. Nope. And now we're gonna get insta-killed again. Nope, can't go that way. In fact, I think we're stuck behind an invisible wall now. That makes this even better. Yeah, how did I manage to do that? Now we're stuck. Good job, Internet. You make the best instances. As a reminder, this happened when I was going the right way. Are you kidding me? And was killed by the thing that I'm supposed to climb. So both stuck and GG are not working. Because you can only use GG in fractals. Ah, there we go. We found the hole. We were on the right path. I wonder if they're proud of themselves when they make stuff like this. And again, so unfortunately, it's too bad that this is so frustrating. What's happening right now? What am I missing? It's obviously the way I need to go. Because this is actually the part that, when it works correctly, is kind of fun. Our timer's already out for... Yeah, our timer's already gone. Which means we've been messing around with this for a hot minute. Can't be damaged. Let's see here. Did this pop up behind us and now we can't get back through it? Clearly I am missing something though. Some of this is on me because I'm obviously not recognizing something. That can't possibly be the solution that they expect people to execute on. I did have something happen once before, and maybe this is what it was, where I had to restart this instance. That would be real unfortunate. Let's try something here. Oh, that didn't work either. Yeah, there was one time, I forget what account I was on, where I got stuck and had to replay the entire instance. And it's about what we're gonna have to do. It's starting to look like we don't have a choice. Why is this thing here? definitely not intended to go that way. Alright. We're gonna try and die outright and see if that changes anything. Assuming it doesn't, then we'll restart the instance. And I guess for video purposes, I'll just all the progress in this instance I just won't include in the video. We'll just restart that instance. You know, in the video. Stupid, man. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Oh, what's going on here? Champion Hydra. Is this the price I pay for, like, having to reset? Where are we now? Now we're somewhere different. And where we want to be is actually right behind us. Oh, okay, so this is behind us. Here's what I was climbing when it just killed me. Willy-nilly. Is it going to kill me again, you think? So presumably it's the rocks falling that kill you. And unfortunately, there's a delay. So if you climb the rocks too soon, then it kills you. That is wretchedly stupid. And I would love to hear someone defend it. It's like, oh, well, it was, you know, it was poor gameplay. You should know that you have to wait. Like, I would love to hear that. Like, I, as the player, have a responsibility to compensate for, like, mediocre coding. Or mediocre, you know, like... It's not a design problem. It's an execution problem. Right? Oh, I don't want to kill anything until I get the sapper. Where's he at? Oh, is there not one here?
Time to do some real damage. Replenishing.
Yes, I know he wasn't in the circle. I just wanted to be able to use my my mount.
We just saw a surge of Zaitan's energy from Kralk.
That's cool. Sorry, Tommy, I'm not so into this anymore.
Here we go again.
Remember when enemies stayed dead after you killed them? Good times.
Alright, we're definitely gonna have a problem. All these dudes, I need to be inside this circle. And none of them are, that's a bummer. Even these centaurs, like, are deliberately remaining outside the circle. Let's see, this guy is inside of it-ish. So centaur kind of almost inside of it now. Yeah, there we go. It's too bad. It's too bad that this particular playthrough of this instance is, like, going kind of bad, because I do like this, and like, this can be a lot of fun to play through. And right now it's not fun. In part because of that nonsense. Like, That's a bummer.
We, have his attention.
Behind me, I can shield us.
Can you, Bram? From that? Oh, buddy. Alright, here we go. Everyone behind Bram. Okay, so that's Zaitan, Mordremoth, got Balthazar, all these powers that, like, Kralk has absorbed, he's now unleashing in the stack. And Bram's getting help from Marine there to shield us.
Told you I could.
I'll help you.
Bram.
It's up to you, Commander. Go finish this.
Alright. Everyone gonna be okay over here? Bram got knocked on his ass. Everything's super branded, right? Very purpley. Very lovely, actually. Quite like the purple. No reason to rush now. It'd probably kill us again if we did. Oh, we don't have any spears. So now we're gonna have some trouble with the whole break bar thing here.
Feel the fury. Watch out! Don't let him hit you!
Why didn't I have any dodges? I tried to dodge. Get up, Commander. Quit being silly.
Time to do some real damage.
You are not getting away from me! Feel the fury.
Huh, we got that. With everything that went wrong, we got electrophobia. That's pretty cool, actually. Everyone loves opposing laser beams.
No. No.
Kralk he's just moving.
What's happened? Is everyone in one piece over there? Hello?
All right, so we're stuck with kind of this view and this movement speed for this portion. So since we got all the time in the world here, as we limp along with the edge of the screen all blacked out and stuff, clearly severely wounded or whatever this is meant to communicate. Look how rewarding that is. Okay, so the instance did not go well. Buggy, absolute trash in that regard. Really unfortunate because I do think it's a good instance. I think it's a fun instance. It just wasn't this time because of glitchy bullshit. But look how good that is when we feel like we're winning, and then we're not. And now look, we're decimated, and so I think it's Saida right there.
That was a vision.
People all like shook up about it and stuff. Like, all this is really good.
A promise that we'd win.
That's kind of a weird promise, though, Zafira. Did I say Saida? It's Zafira. So remember Joko and how we defeated him, and then he just puts himself back together, and then unfortunately gets gobbled up by Arena, which is just garbage. Like Arena and Edit, just kind of their worst, like stupidest, most immature storytelling. Here they avoid that trap, and so now we have like this situation where, and I don't know what that's meant to be, that noise in the background, but all this like adds to it, right? This feeling of like, and Ritlock's dialogue. Now we got Bram here. This is all like pretty good in promoting a sense of kind of frustrated helplessness. They do a really good job at this too. All right, so we're gonna follow Bram, and then they create a corner right here. So as we come around the corner, we get that. Really good. Like, that's really, really good.
Cave. Your flowers.
She's gone.
What do we do now?
I don't know.
And that is it. That is the end
What to do now?
of Chapter 5. That was... While Chapter 5 is not like the best chapter, I mean, it's middling. It's acceptable. It is probably the best ending of any Living World chapter, period, because it leaves us like that. Something that they just generally do not have the cojones to do. I don't know why this time was an exception. I don't know why with this chapter they felt like they were willing to take that risk, which I don't think is a risk, because I think it's a win, and they should have had the ability to recognize that it would be. But for some reason, they never do, except for here. And I think most of the community appreciated it. I'm sure there were some folks that didn't. And I'm not saying that like, oh, you have the Guild Wars 2 community, this, that, or the other thing. I think it's... I like kind of push back against the idea that the Guild Wars 2 community is anything other than the same as any other gaming community. I don't think it's the quote-unquote best community in gaming, best MMO community. I think all that is absolute nonsense. I also don't think it's any worse than any others. People have accused it of being like more immature. It can't possibly be more immature than some of the other games that are out there. I don't think that it's like too far to the left or too like naive and optimistic or all these things that have been leveled against it. It's simply another gaming community. Within that, you're going to have all sorts of people, and I'm sure there were some sorts of people who did not like the way this ends. I do. It's good. It's good all the way around. Good, 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 good. All right, actually, you know what? We should have stayed up there because we need a spot to wrap up this video, and that looks like a good spot as any. Are these ghostly weapons?
She's the good dragon, but this whole branding situation makes my skin
That's kind of
crawl.
cool. Ghostly weapons. All right, well,
I wouldn't fancy
we'll wrap our video up in front of some ghostly weapons. I like. Oh, except people are gonna like walk through us. Well, that's weird.
Calm down. It's
Plus, we
not
got a
like she's
lot of
around
chatter here. We'll go up here. We'll go up top.
What if we're already under her spell and we don't even know it?
I've got a much scarier threat on my mind. And for the record, I'd be first in line for flowers over crystals.
Yeah, it's a good spot. Good spot. This will work. All right, so let's wrap up the video here, and then we'll continue playing as we work through another video. So we were ready, right? So we thought we're going to take on Kralk. We had a pretty good plan in the grand scheme of things. I thought it was actually, considering kind of what our crew usually is, kind of the nonsense that our crew usually engages in between Bram and Kralk and Ritlock and so forth. This plan was more cohesive than most, and yet ultimately it did not work. Now, unfortunately, that instance killed us when it shouldn't have killed us, and then glitched where it respawned us, and then we were trapped, and finally had to die again in order to find my way out of there. That was all big buzzkill. But putting that aside, generally, that's a pretty good instance as long as it doesn't glitch on you. It can be a lot of fun. And it leads us here. Arene has been apparently killed. Kralk has apparently won. The commander is wounded, and there appears to be no path forward. What a great way, honestly, to leave a Living World chapter for a solid 3 months while we wait on the next one. Fortunately, we do not, because we're doing a playthrough and all this stuff was released a long time ago, we do not have to wait, so we're going to turn around and we're going to pick it up with Chapter 6 of Season 4 and continue forward. We don't have to wait 3 months at all. So we will continue forward here real soon.